Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Geek Authority Show. As usual, we have some wonderful guests. We cover all kinds of things, science fiction conventions, writers, actors, producers, directors. And today we have something very special, a very unique and very popular cosplayer. We know her as Riversong. Welcome.
Hello, sweetie. How are you?
She is, so I've known her for years, and I've seen her at many conventions, from the little guys to Comic-Con International, and she's always Riversong. And let me tell you, her outfits and her various wardrobes for just spot on in terms of the show for Doctor Who, for those who watch her. And I'm hoping the character comes back in the original series, so River has more to work with. So tell us, how long have you been doing this? I mean, ever since I've known you, but how far back do you go?
Well, ever since River showed up, basically.
So 2005-ish. 2000.
Well, about 2008, actually.
Oh, okay.
And she showed up in Silence in the Library and Forest of the Dead. And she showed up and died. Hard to get attached to a character right away like that. But when she showed up again with Matt Smith in Time of Angels, it was easier to get attached and fun and more than a spacesuit, which was just a little, and the
white,
the white costume with the and you die. So that's the one I've waited until doing. The first costume I did was from the Pandorica Opens. And I did it because I work at Gallifrey as well as attend. I run cameras and things. And Gallifrey is notoriously cold. And that was a really warm costume. And I know what I can wear.
Right now, she's referring to Gallifrey 1, which happens
Gallifrey 1, yes.
in Los Angeles. And it's the biggest West Coast Doctor Who gathering that I'm aware of.
Biggest North American Doctor Who convention.
There you go. Wow. And you've been attending forever, right? As far as I know.
See, it feels like it. I mean,
I attended my first one in Chicago, and out here I've been to one ever since. When they were in the tiny hotel in Van Nuys, California, and then they've been moving a little bit, but now they're home. I think is the Marriott, Los Angeles Airport. So
yeah, I've been there since at least. I walked in the door in 2004 because a friend invited me out. And I said, okay. And I got there late in the day, and it was a much more relaxed Gallifrey one. And they said, oh, you're here so late, just give us $10 and go on in. It was a Sunday. By the end of the day, I was working on the crew.
Wow.
And then I became a camera person for them and continued to do that.
And by camera person, she actually runs the cameras that photographs or videotapes the stage so that they go on the big screen so people way in the back can actually see, not just little tiny, ants. They can actually see the picture.
You can actually see the people up close.
It's
not
now.
The world's best, but it works.
Clearly, Riversong is your character. But now, for those three people who have never seen Doctor Who, how would you describe the series?
How would I describe the series? The adventures of a time-traveling alien with two hearts and just as much compassion for the human race, trying to save the world.
Because every time, I'm going to be devil's advocate here, every time I turn it on, I see a different actor. What's that about?
Oh, well, the Doctor doesn't die. He just regenerates. He turns into a different person. He can turn into a completely different person. Every cell in his body changes.
Wow.
And he becomes another person. This started when William Hartnell, the first Doctor, was quite old and unwell, and the series was a hit. And I didn't know exactly how to carry on, and he said, well, the lovely lady showrunner said, maybe we should just get a new Doctor, and we won't have him die, though. We'll have him just change, because he's an alien. He doesn't have to die, so he regenerates.
Wow. And what was that producer's name? She's like
Verity Lambert.
Verity Lambert. And there's a great made for TV movie about the history of that, and they really show how Verity basically developed the series against all odds because she was the first female major for a kids show, which ended up being not a kids show. Here we are talking about it almost 55 years, 60 years later. That went on for I guess world fame and all that. But I gotta ask you, when you see, well, let's ask the most popular question: do you have a favorite doctor?
I have two, actually.
Okay.
My first doctor is Tom Baker, and I love him dearly, and I stumbled upon him when they had it on PBS, and he was so weird and so alien, and I just adored him. And my second is Matt Smith, and he's so weird and so alien. I just adore him. And as a matter of fact, when you get to the 50th anniversary special, you see that the curator is played by Tom Baker, and he and Matt Smith meet, and you can say to yourself when you look at them, that's the same person. Oh my God, that's the same person. So, proof of regeneration.
The nose. Yeah, Tom Baker is by far the most popular of the original doctors. And by original, there was a period where it went dark. BBC did not produce the show. The American producers kind of came back with a made-for-TV movie, bringing the story in San Francisco, USA. And then maybe, 6 or 7 years later, it was relaunched with Christopher Eccleston, and it just blew out of the water now because you've got 20th century and 21st century special effects. You've got great story writing, and they're just dynamic.
And you have Russell T Davies. Let's be honest, who is
absolutely
just frigging amazing. Russell
the writer.
And Julie, I mean, they produced and he wrote, but he loved the show. It was getting to a point towards the dark years where there wasn't as much love. And so what happened was the fans stepped in, and that's where Big Finish actually started.
Oh.
Was during those dark years. They supplied stories.
Right, and tell them what Big Finish is.
Big Finish is the audio productions of not only Doctor Who, but Sherlock Holmes, Dracula, Frankenstein, The Prisoner. They have a wonderful, wonderful wide series, including The Diaries of Riversong.
Who'd have thought?
Who'd have thought?
Absolutely, and I actually, just so you know, I just downloaded. I got the versions of those. So my doctor is number 5. He's the first one I saw. This is his jacket, not the shirt. I wanted to be colorful. The hat, of course, but and then of course he has his own sonic screwdriver. But you know what?
Where's the celery?
I'm under hot lights. It would shrivel and disappear. But here's let's do this. This is what it was in the 80s, and what it's become in the 21st century. Although, I don't have. Do I need? Do you have hers?
You mean this?
There you go. Well, that's Riversong's.
That's Rivers.
Do you have 14?
No.
Okay, let's tell them about 14. What the series has did that has never been done before.
Okay, they called her 13 to start out with.
I see 14.
No.
War Doctor? Not
most people count War Doctor. The problem is the BBC calls her the 13th Doctor.
Oh.
So for commercial clarity, the 13th face is the 15th Doctor, because you have to count 2 regenerations for the 10th Doctor and the War Doctor.
Okay. 2 regenerations?
Yes. He didn't want to die. That's a regeneration.
But he didn't survive, did he?
Huh?
He didn't
No,
survive.
he survived because it put the extra regeneration energy into the jar with Donna Noble,
Oh, I get it. Okay.
in which he grew a whole full another doctor, but only one heart.
Oh, wow. Do we have an expert or do we have an actor? I'm like, I thought I knew a little bit, but
Eh,
okay. But anyway, no, what I was referring to is for 50 plus years, it's always been a male actor. And now, for the last 2 seasons, soon to be 3, it regenerated into a woman. What was your reaction to that? How did you feel?
I have no problems with it being a woman. I think that's a great idea. They should maybe shoot the writer. I don't think she's not being handled well. She's not being written as the doctor. She's being written as a woman's playing the doctor. And there's a major difference.
Right. I do agree. I think some of the stories have been very weak. I thought the stories are not doctor centered, to the drama. And it's like, I don't know. The new producing crew seems to be a little off, you know what I mean? Off kilter. A lot of people didn't like Stephen Moffat, though. So.
Well, that's true, but his stories weren't quite as weak as Chris Chibnall's.
Oh, no, he's a great writer. I mean, come on. For those who don't know, he created this really scary episode. I mean, it's literally behind the couch. Scary because the way it was written and the way they edited it, and of course the performances, there's these angels that only move when you blink. And it's like every time you open your eyes, they're closer, they're scarier. And it's like, okay, let's turn the channel a little bit. It was tough. I remember the first time watching it, I'm like, who wrote this? And I'm like, oh, Stephen Moffat. And this was in the Russell T Davies days.
Yes.
He became the showrunner when Russell left. So
he also wrote The Doctor Dances and The Empty Child. Empty Child are both Stephen Moffat.
Yeah, that's the Mummy?
The two-part. Yeah, Are You My Mummy? That's the two-parter. That's the two-parter that introduces Captain Jack.
There you go. Mr. John Barrowman.
Yes.
We need to throw out some names here. Currently, it's Jodie Whittaker.
Mm-hmm.
You already mentioned Matt Smith. I think the most popular of the new group is David Tennant. And
David, I don't know what that noise is. David seems to be the most popular by general consensus. We did a panel at Comic-Con called "Who's the Best Doctor?" and it spoilers, but it does seem to be David Tennant.
Really? This is the Comic-Con at Home you're talking about?
Yes, Comic-Con at Home.
Okay, and what was the panel called?
It's called "Who's the Best Doctor Who?"
Okay, got to watch that. And you hosted?
I did not host. I am a panelist, and we have 2,000 hits at this point in time. So who knows by the time you see it.
Wow, okay, we'll have to check that out. That's on the YouTube channel, right?
It's on the YouTube channel, yes, Comic-Con at Home.
Okay, so let's talk about that. Now in your, what you've been doing recently is not only the cosplaying, but you've been manning and running panels. How did you get into that, and what are your favorites?
Well, I got into it because somebody said, we need to do a panel on powerful women that are powerful in fandom. And they said, but we don't have a narrator. And I said, I'll do it. Moderator. I said, I'll do it. And it stuck. And so I've moderated that. I've moderated other panels on women in fandom. I will be doing one in September for Necronomicon called The Women of Who, in which we're going to talk with Missy, Martha, Donna, myself, and 13 about how these characters impact the Doctor.
Okay.
And as well as the fans.
Is this an at-home thing that you're doing?
It will be a Necronomicon at home.
Okay.
It's a convention in Florida. And God and viruses willing, I will be in actual physical attendance next year.
Oh, yes. Wait for the vaccine, though.
Yes.
Wow. So have you traveled a lot with this, or are you pretty much Southern California?
Mostly Southern California.
Okay. And what about let's talk about the Doctor Who convention that I believe is in San Diego, right?
Yes, San Diego WhoCon.
Okay. How did that start? I know you're a big part of that.
It it started because there was so much interest in Doctor Who, and because Gallifrey One is basically the northern part of the state by comparison. And they thought it would be nice for all the people that live in San Diego to have a convention as well. So the lovely Susan Watson and Linda Schoberg and Pearl Stickler, a lot of the people that were responsible for Condor, actually stepped up and created San Diego WhoCon. This is its 5th year, and unfortunately, I think it will be a virtual convention this year. And who knows what we'll be doing. But it will be a virtual convention, and then hopefully we will be back again in 2021.
Right. Well, like again, once the vaccine comes in, I think everything's going to start slowly going to conventions and movies and everything we used to love. Although the Zooming has changed kind of the world in terms of
It has.
And fans like you and fans like me, we can go to Comic-Con still and all kinds of stuff. Although, the at-home thing kind of is not as good as holding the toys, collecting, or meeting your friends.
Well, there's a virtual dealer's room as well.
Oh, yeah.
So
have you been? Have you purchased?
I looked around. I bought a sweater from Her Universe, and that's about it. But I normally don't buy a lot because, if I spin around too much, you will see that there is just a little bit of stuff here, and I really don't need any more right now.
She's sitting behind or in front of the TARDIS there.
I'm sitting in front of the TARDIS. The chair is covered with an exploding TARDIS, and then behind my back is a pillow that was custom made for me that says, "Hello, sweetie."
Aww. It looks like it's got a red pump, red shoe.
Yes, red high heels.
For Riversong, once again.
Yes.
Cool. So what would you say is the most exciting part about doing especially the cosplay, or, especially to fans who considering, can I do a Riversong? Can I do a 13th, 14th, whatever, Doctor? What would you tell them? What advice?
Know your character. If you're 12, don't be River. River is definitely not 12 anymore. Either me or Alex Kingston. Neither of us. 12. Know the character. Be comfortable with the character. And I tend to think in terms of being a performer as opposed to just a cosplayer. In other words, I inhabit the character. And that's a choice. There's a lot of people that do beautiful costumes and don't talk to them. I have run into doctors that made great tens, and I was dressed in the dress from Let's Kill Hitler, the little pink one.
Oh, okay.
And this was at San Diego Comic-Con. I was on my way out with my friend that looks like Donna Noble, and we were going somewhere, and I ran into this doctor, and he says, "Oh, Riversong." And I says, "Riversong? Who's Riversong?" And he says, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And I'm going, God, he doesn't know the lines. Pay attention.
Oh my God. Wow. That's one of those little details. Huh?
Yeah. Know what the character says, know what she's talking about when she's dressed in a certain way.
And who's this?
Oh, well, this would be Riversong in Day of the Moon.
Yeah, look at that though. You've got it looks like the leather belt. You've obviously got the gun.
Vortex manipulator.
Oh yeah, on your wrist.
Mm-hmm.
Those who don't know, it's a little time and space transporter, basically, for different characters. But so you actually seek the materials and everything that the original has.
That is the original dress. I ordered it from All Saints.
Really?
Yes.
Who is All Saints?
All Saints is a company in the UK
Oh,
that does very expensive high-end clothes.
okay.
And so I got that.
Uh-oh.
Yes, that was at San Diego Comic-Con. That was the BBC's Doctor Who party. Peter Capaldi was supposed to show up, did not. He had gone to the party that Sci-Fi was doing and had to perform there. And I can appreciate this, he was probably partied and peopled out. But that's me and my friendly Dalek. The dress, again, is the one that River wore in the Husbands of Riversong.
And there's
And
your glass. I see your glass.
my glass of champagne and my purse that has the diary in it.
Riversong Diary.
Yes.
Everything and anything you want to know about the Doctor. Somehow she's got it.
Spoilers.
Interesting. Now, for those who don't know, again, those three people, a Dalek is basically one of the mortal enemies of the Doctor, and it's not a salt shaker oversized. It's actually a very deadly species that prides itself on exterminating anything and everything. So, how would you comment on the Daleks?
Well, I would say that the Dalek is basically an ugly little globby thing, and that's its housing. That's what keeps it alive. They're
That's right.
survivors of a radiation mutation war. So, we keep going. That's us.
Wow. Okay. How about? Oh, what's going on here?
Oh, well, that's when we went and visited the dinosaurs. I went with, who did I go with? I went with Rose, and I think it was the Sixth Doctor. And we were doing a little time traveling, and I thought, 11 gets to ride a dinosaur. Why can't I?
Wow. Now, where is that?
That was at the Los Angeles Zoo.
Really? And that's a
Yes.
display?
I don't know if it's still there or not, but they were doing a dinosaur exhibit, and they had that, and you could do some archaeology on your own and dig up bones, and it was a very fun day.
Very cool. It kind of looks real, actually, but
Yep.
oh, there she is.
And that's the other dress from the Husbands of Riversong. That's the.
Is that a shawl, or is that part of the dress?
That is a shawl, and it's made of raven and ostrich feathers, and it was
Really?
made for me. Yes.
Wow. And you've got your vortex. Looks like
My vortex manipulator and my bag of holding, you might say.
All right, I had to throw this one in. That's my number 5, Mr. Peter Davison, who happened to who happens to be the father-in-law of the 10th Doctor, because the 10th Doctor married his daughter. Okay, confused? Never mind. Don't worry about it. But it's all in the family, so to speak. Okay, and then we have
that's us, and that's in the ever popular fatigues.
And that's but that's got to be comfortable for you, right?
It is. It's also from Time of Angels. It's very comfortable, has lots of pockets, and because I do tech a lot, it's a comfortable thing to be
Time
in.
of Angels, the one where she wrote in Egyptian on the pyramid, is that?
No, that's the Pandorica Opens.
Okay, because that was one of the best scenes ever. It's like, "Hello, sweetie," or whatever she said in Egyptian, or whatever it was.
Yes, the oldest cliff face in the world. What were the first words?
That's a little slideshow for you. So, what would you say is the convention experience for you? It seems like you're doing a lot of work for them. Do you not enjoy just being a fan and a cosplayer or a performer and walking around, or do you like helping out and volunteering?
I like interacting with people, and you have more interaction if most of the conventions where I do panels and things like that, there's a lot of interaction with people. When I'm running camera at Gallifrey One, it's a way to get the best seat in the house. Uh,
That's for sure.
and then I do my playing and partying in the afternoon, in the evenings, shall we say, when they have the meet and greet sessions. I will go and have drinks with the people that were there. So I've had drinks with Christopher Eccleston and with John Barrowman and,
Okay. Now that you
Catherine
mentioned,
Tate.
now that you mentioned it, tell us. Okay, let's start on one side. What has been your most unique, funny / memorable fan experience for someone that you've done? Anything stands out?
Oh, golly. I suppose the most unique thing was the first time that I cosplayed Riversong, because I wanted something that was warm, and I was supposed to be on the crew for the masquerade at Gallifrey 1. And I went in and they said, "Oh, no, you're not here. You're in the masquerade." And I said, "No, I'm not." And they said, "Yes, you are. Tadao signed you up." Tadao Tamamatsu, the MC, they said, "No, no, 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 no. You are Riversong. You need to go on stage." And I said, "But I don't have any of the," and they're going, "Doesn't matter." So I went across stage. I am told the fastest they've ever seen anybody go across stage.
Wow,
And
I was there.
I, reading my diary, I got to the middle of the stage. I looked up, blew a kiss and winked, got wolf whistles and left.
Wow.
And that had to be the most,
Did it give you like a rush to hear the applause and the cheers? And
a little bit, nothing I know brings out a glow like sweet applause.
Oh, funny. Okay, how about your best celebrity and or Doctor Who personality experience? Which one was that?
It's really simple.
Uh-oh.
Meeting Stephen Moffat.
Oh.
I met Stephen Moffat at the Sherlock convention because I was running camera.
Okay.
All throughout the convention, poor Mr. Moffat, is because it's all the people from Gallifrey 1. So he's hearing, "River, river, 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 can you get me that? River, can you?" So finally they said, "Oh, by the way, you all get free autographs." And I grabbed my diary and I went in, and I'd already met his son. And his son just went, "You have the coolest book." And I waited and stood in line. I walked in the room. But first thing, as I walked in the room, and I had, "Oh, River, I want to get a picture with you." And you just saw Moffat's head kind of come up, like, "What?
What's going on?"
Yeah. So I get in line and I patiently wait, and I says, "I'd like you to sign." I says, "You're my biographer. You can sign the diary, and I'd prefer you sign it on the back cover. But if you want to look through it, I mean, you know what's in here." And he looked at me and he went, "What?" And his son piped up, Dad, that's the one. That is the best book." He just kind of looked down. His son, let's see, he was maybe 15.
Okay.
Table
with him?
Huh?
Sitting at the table, autograph?
Yeah, he was sitting behind him because they didn't let him wander away. He had done that the night before, and it was not a good thing. Mom and Dad came and got him out of the dance.
Uh-oh.
And so anyway, so Moffat looks down and he says, "I don't understand." I said, "It's my diary. I want you to sign it." He says, so he signs Stephen Moffat, and then he starts to hand it back and said, "Wait." And he sat there for a while, and then he said, writes, "Page 37 is filthy." And I went, "Okay." And I said, "Well, thank you." And he says, "So nice really meeting you, Dr. Song."
Wow.
And I went, ching!
Wow. Did you get a picture?
No, because when I was supposed to get a picture with him, that was the next year at Gallifrey 1, and that was the year that I got a really bad eye infection.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
And I had literally sent people taking gifts and ribbons and things to everybody for me, you know, and running it remotely. This is life at home for me.
Wow.
Zoom is nothing new. I just get to see things now.
Very cool. So are you working on any projects now? Anything in the at-home phase, or what are you doing now?
Like I say, we're planning to do the Zoom panel for Necronomicon. I'm working on get my page up and running, because now I'm not running to work and only having 2 hours of the day that I'm at home to do things. I'm actually going to push forward and make a big push on River's page and getting River out there even more.
Wow, very cool. And I've got you sent me your contacts or your information for your website, so I'm going to put that below here. And if anyone has any comments or questions for River, you can go to her website or put it in the comments below, and I'll make sure she sees them, or
Thank you.
she'll answer them for you. It's really cool. Well, I really appreciate the time you spent with us. This is, she's an adorable person. She's amazing in character, and I tell you what, she's got the best costumes, that you could ever have as far as the Riversong look. And she knows her who. Clearly, we've established that, right? Here. Anyway, that's a sonic screwdriver for the 3 people who don't know what that is. Uh-oh, what's that?
That's my sonic screwdriver.
Oh, yes. What's cool is they all make lights and sound, and in this one I always can never remember. Yeah, both 2 colors, whatever. Okay. Anyway, appreciate you so much for the time with us. Any final words of wisdom before we say goodbye?
Oh, let's see. Don't let time be the boss of you, and never knowingly be serious.
Very cool.
2 of the doctor's rules.
I'm going to think about them. Okay. Thank you again so much. And for those of you watching, again, appreciate this. It's so good to meet people that are out there doing things and being positive. And even in this Zoom world we're living in now, it's great to talk to people about their interests and hobbies and everything that they do. So just remember, though, please, one of the buttons up here is for subscriptions, and I've got the 2 other shows, The Mysterious Chamber of Collectibles, and of course the Unboxing Geek Authority. So check them all out, like them, share them. That little bell will remind you whenever I post anything new. And River, again, thank you so much. You've been a delight. You've been fun and funny, and that's all we could ask for. In the times we're living in, we need positivity, and you are it.
Why, thank you, and thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. So everyone, thanks for watching, and we'll see you at the next show. And have a good day. Say bye.
Till next time, sweetie.
Ooh.